I muted? Am I doing something wrong, Mike? How about that?
There you go.
Am I good? All right. Because, I have to hear myself. So, good morning.
Good morning.
How are we doing out there? Lovely to see you all. I do know that we have a couple of live streamers today. Maybe Frank and Dina up in Antelope Valley. Hi, guys.
Yay.
Maybe Frank, maybe Marilyn. So for all those out there watching us at home and watching us in here, it's great to have you all here. Because if you're not here, they can't be there. So it looks like we're all locals around here, so let's just take a minute or two to check in with each other and say good morning. Whoops!
Okay. Everybody just
It's that old time rock and roll. Don't take me rock and roll. Kind of music that soothes my soul. It reminisces about the days of old. With that old time rock and roll. Won't ever take me to a tango. I'd rather hit some blues or funky old soul. There's only one sure way to get me to go. Stop playing old time rock and roll. Call me a relic, call me what you will. Say I'm a passion, say I'm over the hill. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll. Still like that old time rock and roll. It's got some music that soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days of old. With that old time rock and roll. Rock and roll. And the music that soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days of old. With that old time rock and roll. Still like that old time rock and roll. The kind of music that soothes my soul. With reminisce about the days of old. With that old time rock and roll. Still like that old rock and roll. The kind of music that soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days of old. With that old time rock and roll.
What's that old adage, start together, end together?
And it doesn't matter what happens in between.
I remember. Yeah, good job. All right. So please help me welcome our presider this morning, Reverend Jeannie Hoffman. Of course, as you can see, the candles are already lit. So aren't you glad we didn't have to put you through all that? Excuse me, pardon me, while we light the flames. All right. So let's all take a deep, conscious breath. Exhaling the busyness of the day that maybe we had to go through to get here. Using the breath to anchor us in this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And as we know, we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as we acknowledge the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here at our center. And as we know the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and I see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only
And I know and declare that the power of love is here today in this very room, in this sacred space that we've created. One heart, one mind, one breath, one love. And so I know for this center, and I know for everyone here today, that we are in a mode of expansion, expanded consciousness, expanded loving, expanded living, and it is very good. So I am so grateful that this service unfolds with stewardship, selfless service, wonderful music, wonderful words, and the heart to accept it all. It's a good day. It's a God day, and we say together, and so it is. So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Wasn't it delightful to wake up to some moisture outside this morning? Yeah. We've been having moisture inside. We can release that and have the moisture outside. There are two things I'd like to share with you this morning. The first one is how grateful I am to Reverend Mike for making sure that our classes could continue after we had that flood. As you all know, or maybe you haven't thought about, but this was not part of his contract when he signed on to be our spiritual director, but he knew how to do it. And so with his able hands, We have we're refurbishing and we're renewing, just like we are ourselves, refurbishing and renewing. I want you to know that on Wednesday morning, that was the last Sangha class for that series. And I came early not knowing exactly what to expect. But the sanctuary was set up in a circle in the most inviting, wonderful way, very sacred space. And the kids' room was fixed so that we could have our refreshments in there because we make a big deal about eating together. So, being flexible, being willing to be in a new space in a different way, made me feel really good. I don't know how it made the rest of the people feel. But even being in the kids' room, I'm reminded when I used to teach classes in there. And I'm rethinking that. That's really sweet space, and maybe we need to do that too. It helps to be flexible. I've heard it said that those who are flexible are never bent out of shape. My second sharing has to do with remembrance. Samhain, which we'll be doing a week from Wednesday night, remembering and honoring those in our family and friends and the loved ones who have passed before us. I've been thinking about Samhain, and I've also been cleaning out my garage in preparation for my dance studio. It's almost 1/3 finished. I've lived in this home for 30 years, so I've collected a lot of treasures. A lot of treasures that belong to other people that I kind of held for them, you know? I'm the oldest living member of my family, so I have become the steward of all of these things. Many of those treasures are photographs. And they're photographs, some of them of people I don't know, I never met. They're not marked. I know they're from my family, but there's so many generations back, I don't know who they are. That has become a quandary, what I'm to do with those. However, I've decided that all the pictures that I have that have faces in that I know, I'm giving them away. Because you are so etched on my heart that I don't need the photograph. And this leads me to, if I can get the page turned, the Samhain service, which we will be having here the 26th in the evening. It's a week from this Wednesday. It's a Celtic festival, and it predates Christianity. It's a Gaelic word, Samhain, and don't look at it and try to pronounce it phonetically because it'll never happen. It is not even close to the way it's spelled. We have Halloween, which is the remnants of that, and All Souls Day, which if you're Catholic, I'm sure you thought that was a Catholic ceremony or honoring, but actually it's Celtic. And the Irish would not give it up, so Rome kept it. It really came from the Celtics. So join us for this evening, that evening of remembering. We'll have a wee drink and a snack at the end when we're all finished, and we'll celebrate each other on that evening. So I want to leave you with 2 blessings, Irish blessings. May the days of the waning harvest be profound and delicious for you. And when I count my blessings, I count you twice. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everybody. We are continuing with Rocktober, so we're going to get slowly a little bit louder and louder. Next week's even louder. First off, I'd like to thank David's wife, Jill, and David and Kent for covering for me last week. And the choir too. That we did not rehearse at all. Everything was done by email, so they're gonna be the Granada Hills telepathic choir. No rehearsing. Yeah. Angela Carol Brown will be joining us on the second song up front here, but I'd like to thank her now. And Angela. And all the way from Santa Clarita is our very own Mr. Jerry Reike. One, two, one, two, three, four.
I still don't know what I was waiting for. My time was running wild, a million dead-end streets. And every time I thought I'd got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. So I turned myself to face me, but I never got a glimpse of how the others must see this faker. I'm much too fast to take that test. Changes.
Turn and face the strange
Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes.
Turn and face the strange
Changes. Just gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. I watch the ripples change their size, but never leave the stream of warm impermanence. And so the days float through my eyes, but still the days, they seem the same. And these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune from your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through. Changes.
Turn and face the strange
Changes. Don't let them grow up and out of it. Changes.
Turn and face the strange
Changes. Where's your shame, you fluster? George Nixon in time may change me, but I can't change time. Strange fascinations fascinating me. Changes are taking the place I'm going to. Changes. Oh, look out, you rock and rollers. Changes. Changes. Pretty soon you're gonna get older. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. I said that time may change me, but I can't trace time.
Small but mighty choir, yes? Good morning, everybody. Okay, well, let's see what we have here. I am here to highlight some of the announcements. I don't see any. So let me just start by saying today is, thank you for that. That was wonderful. Give them some more love, please. Love it. It was great. I would have found it eventually, Rev. Today is New Member Sunday, and I'm wondering if I could be bold enough to see if there's any new members in the congregation today. Would you just stand up so we can see you and recognize you? I know Nikki back there is new. Her mom is new. Susan. Oh, look. Turn around and welcome everybody. We're so happy you're here. We've designated this day to just honor you and welcome you. Please stay after service. We're going to have some cake in there, even though it's a little bit in disarray. We've got a beautiful cake to welcome you officially and honor you. So that's the main thing that I wanted to say. Also, the Wednesday evening service is back on track at 7 o'clock on Wednesday evenings. Get real and heal. And then Reverend Jeannie also talked about her wonderful Samhain service, which is, if you've never been to that on a week from Wednesday night, please come. It's a wonderful, wonderful evening. And Sunday, October 23rd and 30th, here in the sanctuary, we will be honoring Dia de los Muertos with an ofrenda. If you've never seen it, it's a wonderful, we have it's called an ofrenda. It's an altar, yes. And we invite you to bring pictures and mementos of your loved ones that we will honor for those 2 Sundays, October 23rd and October 30th. And last but not least, please sign on to smileamazon.com. If you shop on Amazon, don't be shy. How many of you shop on Amazon? Come on, all right, a good number of you. So if you sign on to smileamazon.com, a portion of your purchases, albeit it's not a huge portion, but nonetheless, it's a good portion of your purchases will come back here to the center. So please sign up for that and have a wonderful Sunday. Wait.
You put down the postcard. It was the postcard in your hand?
Oh, okay, I beg your pardon. There is something here that was given to me. Wayne and Brenda are having a Halloween Farago.
It basically means a motley bunch of music that's all put together. We don't have a specific theme this year, but this is possibly our last Halloween show, and if you haven't seen it, come and see it. And if you have seen it and you want to see it again, come back and enjoy it. We're doing music from everything from The Nightmare Before Christmas to Hollywood, the theme songs from TV shows. Wayne's written a couple of songs, and we traditionally always end with a time warp. So come do the time warp with us.
And it is Friday, October 28th,
October 28th.
at the Gardenia on Santa Monica Boulevard in Hollywood, just east of La Brea. And there's a great picture here of Wayne and Brenda.
I have postcards
Okay, great. Where will those be?
with me, but I'll leave some in that.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Andrea. If you would please stand now, we'll do the Declaration of Principles. We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon a law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life and in the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light.
Wasn't it? You guys sound good. You know, when there's a song that you know, you hit it. I just want to say, with gusto. It's really great to see. Thank you, choir. Yes. Thank you. Kids and all. Yeah. And I just want to give them a plug. Oh, wow, I just sprayed out there. So the Halloween show is actually a gas. If you've never been to one, you got to check it out. They also have, what's it called, saltimbocco? Is that the dish?
Well, they did. I don't think they have it
All
anymore.
right, that was good.
Yeah.
Ossobuco.
They're
Yeah,
great still.
that's it. That was good. So they can cook too.
Yeah.
So food,
And I can cook.
cocktails, entertainment, rowdy friends. You got some of the rowdiest
Yeah, we
friends.
do.
All right.
And that's
so,
why we have so much fun.
yes, it is. It is fun. So thanks to everybody, Ken, fellas, and Mr. Rocktober himself, Jerry. Jerry Reiki. Yeah. So as you have undoubtedly found out by now, if you came through the fellowship hall, we are undergoing a transformation here at this center, certainly in Sparks Hall for sure, and beyond, as it turns out. So I want to give you an update. So first of all, what caused everything over there was a busted a supply line for the dishwasher back behind the dishwasher, and not due to an error in installation. So Gabriel, please forgive me for my thought crimes around that. So it wasn't about that. It was just a part failed. So, and regardless of the cause, we still must deal with the aftermath and the process of restoration. And so, while we go through this process, we're going to need you, each one of you. So we need you to continue to support the center with your attendance in class on Wednesday night and, of course, on Sunday mornings as well. I'm also going to need some stuff, and for those of you who can, if we can huddle up after the service, after we get done with meet and greet in the back there, I need some help moving stuff around in order to continue to be flexible, as you say. So we're putting these partitions to good use. So all these chairs have to be moved. All the stuff that's in here has to be moved because the guys are coming in to take the floor out tomorrow and the rest of the week. And then we've got to put it all back together on Thursday to get it ready for service. So there's a lot of work, a lot of grunt work, right? So what I really need are strong backs. And so just the chairs and the other gear necessary for the efforts to keep this thing going. And also, I neglected to pack. Wait a minute, Marlene's here. I didn't think to pack the coffee stuff in its own box and set it aside. Did you? Yeah, no. There was too much stuff going on, so we packed all the coffee service away. Thanks to Stephanie, we have coffee today. She stopped by Starbucks. So if you have a coffee maker and a couple of carafes and a water thing, can you see Marlene? And we'll take inventory of what we have. Marlene's in the back there. And then we'll, it'll still be camping, but it'll be camping with coffee, which is always important. So, and then there's just one more thing that I want to say about this, and this is really important. So imagine, as I have often in this past week, that we have no place to meet. That we have, in fact, they were saying in the beginning, you're going to have to move out of here. Right? Imagine we have no place to meet. That we have no place to call our own. In the coming weeks, as we may be inconvenienced by the process, inconvenienced by the lack of space, by the lack of hospitality or comfortable places to gather after the service, and any of the other ways that you may feel inconvenienced, you may be tempted to stay away until it's all done. And I urge you to keep coming back and work with that inconvenience, to work with the that uncomfortable place of uncertainty, like what the heck's going on around here, right? Because what I know about this is that we have here a wonderful opportunity to practice appreciation for the community that we have here and for the space that houses it specifically. We have a place, right? There are hundreds of religious science churches that are meeting in hotels and banquet halls and Masonic lodges, right? And these are all fine places. But we have a place to come to and have since the 70s in this exact location. So we have a place to meet because of consciousness. A vision that was set in the 60s with Reverend Chuck McCutcheon of the First Religious Science Church of Van Nuys, right? So that's where we came out of. He was the founding minister that most of us have not met. In fact, I don't know that I've met anyone around who knew him. So, by reason, I'm just saying this because I found old board meetings, minutes, that describe the process of looking for a place to meet. So here's this core group. They started out meeting in the living room, right? And then we're looking for a place to meet. And then looking for a place to buy. And when reading these minutes, it's clear they have no money. They don't have any money. They don't know how they're going to do it. But they're setting the intention. They're setting the intention to buy a place. And they were looking in this area. And so this is all reflected in the minutes. On the old erasable bond paper, remember? It's all typewritten and stuff. Yeah. So this would have been the 60s and 70s. So they had no resources to buy, and yet, clearly, the deal got done. Right? So I had to get back to work. I couldn't sit there figuring out what happened, but the deal got done. And this center has undergone several renovations over its tenure, the most extensive one in 2001, which brought it to its present format. And now, so all of those efforts were financed out of the generosity of the center, and now this renovation is being financed by the generosity of Church Mutual and Casualty, so with an insurance claim. So we have good insurance. So consider this. Consider the consciousness that has gone into supporting this idea of spiritual community through the decades. Consciousness to gather, consciousness to secure a meeting place outside of one's home, to buy a place, to renovate, to maintain a place, to maintain with resources that allow, right? So in this, bringing it forward to where we're at, to maintain with resources to allow for mortgages, for upkeep. So the claims adjuster, when I asked him about depreciation, he says, "Oh man, you guys really take great care of your place. There'll be like hardly any, maybe 2% depreciation." Right? So upkeep, a living salary for the minister, which I appreciate, copy machines, a gifted music director with an incredibly small music budget that he works miracles with, and then finally insurance. That all of these things are consciousness in expression. They may not look like it, but it is consciousness in expression. And so these are all evidence of community consciousness, and also the evolvement of the consciousness of the community and involvement with all of the changing parts and partners. So consider how many new people. At one time we were all new members here, right? We are all new members. So just think of the continuum of consciousness from that start to this place, the people who have come, the people who have gone, and now consider that how the consciousness of our center is a reflection of each one of us, of our reflection of our individual consciousness. Right? So we are the microcosm of what we call human race consciousness. race consciousness in this spiritual community. The center is a reflection of each one of us, our individual transformation to create global transformation, to create community transformation. So, as a homeowner, can you imagine not having the consciousness to carry adequate insurance for your dwelling? No. Of course, the bank might remind you of that, but no. Of course not. You wouldn't do that. That's reflected here. As a householder, whether you're renting or you own your own home, a householder, pride of ownership, that's reflected here. The way that you want to be spoken to and addressed, that's reflected here. The kinds of people that you want to mix with, reflected here. You know, that you have incarnated in this moment, in this exact moment, so that you could bring and draw to you all of these people here by this divine appointment here on this Sunday morning to have an experience of the divine. Yeah, you should give yourselves a hand. That's a deep, that's a pretty, whoa, man. That's a pretty whoa, man thought. So the kinds of people we want to mix with. And so, yes, I know we could use more men. I hear that. But soon this place is going to be crawling with them. So we can see some interesting parallels of our lives as individuals reflected in our community. So perhaps you've made other connections that I have not. So are we not collectively then, just following this logic thread out, are we not collectively then cause to our own effect collectively? Yes, you bet. So this micro race consciousness reflected as spiritual community. A community that is regularly regenerated by our own practice and by the inclusion on a regular basis and an openness, I would say, even on a regular basis for new members who in turn bring their unique contributions to the community. And if you haven't yet done that, this is an open invitation and a call for you to do that. That each one of you has your own unique gift to offer, right? And maybe as of yet, you just haven't got around to it yet. That we recognize there is an ebb and flow to community. So how is this similar in our own life? Maybe our spiritual community is a reflection of the way that we would love the rest of the world, the rest of our life to look. So really, this becomes the practice field. The practice field of infinite possibilities for good in the human realm, with human beings coming in with their stuff, right? Rubbing up all over each other and growing up all over each other, right? As spiritual community. Rubbing the rough patches smooth, right? Just like the stones in a stream. So if this is true in community in the outward reflection of its members, what of our own lives? What is powering us? What is powering the outward reflection within our own life? So is it our job, our relationships, our bank balance, the lack of those things? Is it other stuff? So what religious science teaches, and that's what we're practicing here, is religious science. What it teaches is that there's only one thing at work in the universe, only one thing at work in the universe, the one self-existent cause that reflects itself in our outer experience in ways conscious and unconscious or not. Right? For as we understand, it is done unto us as we believe. That's the one little caveat to this deal. That the one self-existent cause reflects itself in our outer experience. So why not allow this to happen in a conscious way? That's the thing that I ask myself continuously. So what does it mean to be self-existent? Right? In religious science, self-existent is defined as living by virtue of its own being. living by virtue of its own being. An absolute and self-existent cause, then, means that principle, that power, that presence, which makes everything out of what? Itself, which contains and sustains everything within itself. So this whole thing that we're experiencing is God experiencing itself by means of its creation, by means of you, and by means of me. So stop and consider the implication here. You and I are made of God's stuff, that we are the logical expression of the absolute and self-existent cause. And as we are a reflection of the self-contemplation of spirit, does it not follow that as we think, that God must think? And the way that God thinks must, and the way that we think, it must be a reflection of that which thinks all this stuff up. That thinks all this stuff up by its self-contemplation of itself and making the thing that it thinks about demonstrate. That we must be a reflection of that in some way. Okay? Within the capacity that each one of us is willing to consider and practice and experiment and prove to ourselves that this idea is true. When that happens, then we embody it. That we embody it. We come to see that we are it in expression. So now what would our lives look like if we truly knew that this would be the truth of our life? How would our life look different than it does right now? Pick any challenge you like. Even pick something that's really great. How would it be even better if you knew this to be the law of your own being? So, if we truly embrace that cause is alive in you and in me, would we hold ourselves, would we hold ourselves in higher regard? Right? So what kind of respect would we give to ourselves if we knew this? What kind of respect would we give to others? Respect our mind, respect our body, respect our spirit. How would we be more compassionate towards ourselves? How would we be more compassionate towards others? So perhaps spiritual community is where we can practice this high regard and know this truth for each other. What do you think about that idea? Right? Particularly when we show up on a Sunday feeling kind of puny. Right? Feeling kind of less than. Feeling kind of, I don't know what the hell I came here for, but here I am. We just drag ourselves here no matter what. Because we know what's going to happen. We're going to be lifted. We're going to shift and lift whatever we came here with into a higher thought vibration so that when we leave here, we're going to feel better than when we got here. That's all right, yeah? Is that not the same like when we go to the gym? Right? Isn't the hardest part about going to the gym is getting there, right? Same thing. So in this place, we practice, can we practice? And I tell you, I witness compassion being practiced in the highest order. In this place, we practice being the change we wish to see in the world. That's what we're practicing doing here for an hour or two. Right? So really, if you think about it, for our most effective life, the work week begins today, right now, in consciousness, right where you're sitting. And you may not even be thinking about the job. You may just be thinking, man, that dude is so profound. Right? That may be what you're thinking. Maybe you're not. But hopefully you're not thinking about your job. Right? But we are setting in movement, in consciousness, we are setting the intention and vision of what we want to experience in our life, and that includes our work life. We practice being first cause in our life by being the love. We practice being first cause in our own life, right? So first cause, God versus first cause in the relative. We practice being first cause in our life by being the love by being the revealer of truth, by being the source and supply in this outer realm. Now, why am I saying this? Because if it's all a reflection, and God is the first cause in this greater picture of life, then we are on some level, we are the relative first cause in this outer realm. And that can be either for good or ill. Now, when it comes to a place like this, what does that mean? That we are the agency by which Spirit supports a community like this. That we then become source, right? It's God behind us, right? We're knowing our good in all of its ways. It demonstrates first as a thought, right? First it's a thought. It demonstrates as money in whatever realm and career path that we have. And then that money then goes into the spiritual community, which is then supported. So in this real way, you are the source of generosity that supports this place. You are the source of generosity that supports your business or your job or the kids that you're teaching or the marriage you're involved in or the relationship that you are supporting. You are the source in that way. But really what we all are is a conduit for the divine. Right? So it looks like we're the source, but we're really the conduit for the first cause, the self-existence cause, to express itself by means of all of these activities. So then our life then, on every level, becomes an expression, or at least the potential of the expression of the divine. That's pretty cool. So when we talk about infinite power, infinite presence, living intelligence, right? Infinite love, compassion, right? These are the things that we are being called to be in the highest expression of humanity. That we have within us the potential to express the divine in all of its many manifestations as the human family. That's pretty wild, man. And you never know how that's going to show up. So it might look like, for instance, doing an evocation for the town clock. Down here, was that last week, 2 weeks ago? When we unveiled the town clock, and I got to do the evocation there. But on Tuesday, I'll be doing it for the LA Board of Supervisors on Tuesday morning. Right? So you just never know. Yeah. But why is that? Because I spoke to the universality in all life. This is a message that people want to hear today. Right? They want to know about this all-powerful, self-existent first cause behind all things that has many names and many faces. Right? People are kind of groping for a way. No, that's not a good word these days. People are trying to embrace an idea of spiritual principles, right? That support everyone with respect and love and loving kindness, right? That's really that's our mission here, man. It may not look like it, but it is. So at the end of the day, then, God, the universal life force and energy running through everything, is an intelligent presence, pervading all space, a beginningless and endless eternity of eternities, a self-existent cause, a perfect unit, a complete wholeness. And we are that, to the extent that we allow ourselves to be so. To the extent that we can courageously step into the field, in spite of, we know the shadow, well, to the extent that we know our shadow. We know where the warts are, and in spite of what we think about that, this is the truth. This is the truth about each one of us, right? So when we go to a practitioner, we're not there to talk about how bad you feel, how broke you are, how broken you may feel. But we are there to know that maybe hidden wholeness that already exists, right? That we are calling forth the perfection of the one self-existent cause to make itself known, to reveal itself, to have its way by means of you and by means of me, by means of our life. So let's call our musicians up as we take a deep breath together. Just sigh it out. The idea of breathing in the self-existent cause, exhaling the self-existent cause, swimming in the self-existing cause, demonstrating as a self-existent cause. Our body temple, our mentality, our life, our relationships, those we love, those who irritate the hell out of us, that we have called all of them forward for this experience, that we have chosen to incarnate in this moment to experience all of it so that we can transform it. So that in the end we find moments of enlightenment that maybe we can hitch together. Enlightenment, as Dr. T says, and I love this, we know we're enlightened when nothing bugs us. There's a nice, simple definition. Right? I think we think there's, when the aura becomes clearly defined, then I'm enlightened. No, nothing bugs us. So as we go about our work today, keeping holy this Sabbath day, thinking about all the ways that we can be the self-existing cause of spirit in expression in our life today, practicing that today, taking the energy, harnessing the energy around that, and bringing that into our week this year, or this week, and seeing how that shifts our current experience. And come back and report next week.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Instant karma's gonna get you. Gonna knock you right on your head. You better get yourself together. Pretty soon you're gonna be dead. What in the world you're thinking of? Laughing in the face of love. What on the earth you trying to do? It's up to you. Yeah, you.
Instant karma's gonna get you. Gonna look you right in the face. Better get yourself together, darling. Join the human race. How in the world you gonna see? Laughing at fools like me. Who in the hell do you think you are? A superstar? Well, right you are. We all shine on like the moon and the stars and the sun. And we all shine on. Everyone, come on.
Instant karma's gonna get you. It's gonna knock you off your feet.
Better recognize your brothers, everyone you meet.
Why in the world are we here? Surely not to live in pain and fear.
Why on earth are you there when you're everywhere? Come and get your share. We all shine on like the moon and the stars and the sun. Yeah, we all shine on. Come on.
Come on and on. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
first service, I was sitting over here, but even one more chair back. You guys, yeah, it makes a big difference. Sounds great, don't they? Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, band. All right, so as we go within for a wee bit more, just a moment longer, we have a sweet little song for our offering. So as we prepare our gifts for the offering, we'll call our ushers forward as we sing with Ken and the gang. Who's singing? Who's singing?
How many roads must a man walk down before you can call him a man? How many seas must a white dove fly before she sleeps in the sand? How many times must a cannonball fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. And how many years can a mountain exist before it is washed out to sea? How many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? And how many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
Call our ushers up here. So that was just to give old Brother Bob Dylan a nod for his Nobel Peace Prize in Literature. If you haven't revisited the lyrics in his songs, you may see they're quite transcendent and appropriate for this time as well. So let's just go within for a moment, recognizing that the gifts presented here this morning are a gift in consciousness, a consciousness that knows and knows that it knows that God is our source, our substance, our supply. And so from the generous heart and mind from which and commitment from which these gifts have been offered here this morning, we, representing the heart of this community, accept these gifts with deep appreciation, love, and respect, as we know together they go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless the intention and life vision of each one here this morning, and anyone connected to this center in any way. That we extend this knowing to our friends in this community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, for our planet as well, that we know that there is but one self-existent cause in, through, and as all of it expressing. And to the extent that we know this to be so, we see it demonstrating in wonderful and gracious ways, in ways great and small. This lifts our heart. We allow ourselves to feel the buoyant expression of spirit that lifts us in ways and that lifts ourselves and others into powerful ways of spiritual living. For this we are truly grateful, and together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. So please help me thank Janet and Bill. So how are we doing, kids? Did you hear all the racket in here this morning? All right. You don't sound too enthusiastic about that. So do we have a spokesperson? Okay. Oh, very good. So, you are?
Lorelai.
And you are?
Maddie.
Maddie.
Okay, so today we hunted bears.
Awesome.
So, yes, we went on an imaginary bear hunt, and we would use our imagination to imagine that we were actually going on a bear hunt while making noises about like walking or swimming through rivers or climbing up a tree. Only one of them was really the most realistic, which was going through long grass, which was...
Okay. And then?
And then we learned how to imaginate stuff with our minds. And meditated. Thought about.
Breakfast, I'm guessing.
What we wanted for the church.
Oh, okay.
Read it.
Whole list of stuff. Go ahead. I can't see. I don't have any glasses on. Read the bloody thing.
Okay, a suggestion box, new walls, a place to sleep.
Who's moving in, Lorelai?
The hobos down the street.
I would like to see everyone holding hands and being friends and getting along.
Nice. Oh, they have a. Oh, I see. Each kid did them. Yes. Great. Okay.
Storage, materials and files, an outdoor place to play.
I'm with you on that.
Money to make an offer to buy next door to expand.
Somebody's thinking big in that outfit.
I would like to see new furniture, new people, carpets, and cabinets here.
Uh-oh, here's a list.
This one's really long.
I want more room, more space outside and do activities. I would want more rooms for the little kids, tweens, and teens. Creative color walls, a room of peace and quiet, a bigger sanctuary for more people to come and visit. That's yours.
Okay. I want to see more decoration, more room, different colored walls, decorations for holidays, and that's it.
Oh, there's one more. I want to see Seahawks emblems during football season, and knowing the truth for the Dodgers that they can be victorious. Sorry for Cubs fans out there. I know there's at least one. Yes, it is 1-0, so enjoy it. Okay, so thank you. Thank you for, that's wonderful, kids. Thank you very much. Let's thank the choir one more time and the band. And I'm going to invite everyone who's a new member in the last year to come on up here. Yeah, come on up here. Yep, come on up. Yes, please. Don't be shy. That's it, Nick. Come on up here. Shy. Eye to eye. Yes. Well, we'll wait till you get up here, and then we'll give you one good blast of love here. All right, now let's give them some love here. Thank you. All right. So thank you. So hang out here, and we'll have Reverend Jeannie pray us out, and then we'll sing up here. Don't go away.
Don't go away. Come back.
No, he can handle it.
So we give thanks. We give thanks for the rain in the beginning. We give thanks for the choir after we got here. And we give thanks for the new members. It's so good today. We are blessed with the children. We're blessed with the music. And we embrace it all. It fills us to overflowing with love. And we take it with us and give it away to the world. I know and declare that this is a prosperous, beautiful, loving day. And we affirm it by saying, and so it is.
Please stand for the peace song. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6.
Just take those old records off the shelf. I sit and listen to them by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old rock and roll. Don't try to take it to a disco. Are you on? You never step out of the floor. 10 minutes I'll be leaving the door. Looks like that old time rock and roll. Like that rock and roll. The kind of music that soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days of old. With that old time rock and roll. Won't get 'em hear me for a tango. I'd rather hear some blues or funky old soul. There's only one true way to get me to go. Stop playing old time rock and roll. Call me a relic, call me what you will. Say I'm a fashion, say I'm over the hill. Today's music ain't got the same soul. And like that old time rock and roll. Still like that old time rock and roll. The kind of music that soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days of old. With that old time rock and roll. Rock and roll. Soothes the soul. Rock and roll, kind of music just soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days of old. With that old time rock and roll. That old rock and roll. The music doesn't soothe the soul. I reminisce about the days of old. With that old time rock and roll. Rock and roll, kind of music that soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days of old. Here we go. With that old time rock and roll. Chorus.
Yeah. I'll send you the songs early. There's no way to play that live. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, I know, because I made a mistake. Uh-oh. Music is zero, you should have said. How come I have... Give it. Reverend Mike, in here. Today. You gave me that today. You said somebody went to a baseball game. Yeah.